So we've got the fog pocket kit installed now. We've got the A-pillar lights installed. We've got this sweet S-Pod system here controlling it all. Really slick here. The next thing we're going to go do is take this over to our expansion space, get these lights aimed, and then we'll see you next week. Hey guys, Matt here with BuiltRight Industries. As you can see, I am in front of our 2024 Raptor build. Last week you saw us install the S-Pod system, which is going to help us control lights. This week we are going to be installing some Baja Designs lights. I've got here an XL Pro driving combo light. We're going to try these out in the A-pillar position. We've got a whole pile of Baja Designs lights, so we're probably going to experiment with them. So the first thing we're going to do today is install the SDHQ bracket kit for the A-pillar, super heavy duty brackets. Love those. A couple of Baja Designs lights. We're going to get those wired up to our S-Pod system. And then if there's time, we're going to install our fog pocket kit from Baja Designs as well. Let's get into it. All right, so here's what we're starting with. We got the Baja Designs XL Pro lights here, a pair of those with all the wiring and bracketry that they supply. We've got the pair of SDHQ A-pillar brackets. Again, I love these brackets. They're super thick. I don't know if this is like 10 gauge or thicker, but really sturdy there, which matters a lot when you're off-road. You don't want these lights bouncing around, reflecting off the hood. So the other thing we've got here from Baja Designs, a couple of harnesses, some brackets. This is their fog pocket kit for the 21 plus. Should fit our 24. We're going to find out today. So let's dig into it. So what we can actually do probably is wire these two together and wire this separately so that we can run just the SAE lights on the road. I think that's the purpose. We've got clear lenses on everything. I kind of like some of the amber lens stuff, but Baja Designs makes it really easy to change them out. I was just going to show you the size difference. So this is the XL. This is what a Squadron looks like. This is an S1. These XLs are a pretty beefy unit there. Okay, so this is the bracket, the SDHQ bracket. It mounts on the bottom side here to the rear hood hinge bolt. And then at the top, it's got another small bracket that mounts. There's a smaller bolt up here. I think it's like a 10 millimeter bolt that holds the top of the fender. And we're going to replace that bolt with one that SDHQ provides as well. So I'm going to do that now. Be a little surgical not to fuck up your paint. Just continually checking for clearance right here. So I got that tightened down. I don't know if I'll need to loosen that again to do this other bracket, but for now I'd prefer that it stays in place. All right, we got the driver's side installed, now we'll do the passenger side. Let's see our lighting zones. We're doing driving combo, that's 3 here. I'm kind of tempted though. I mean, driving combo probably isn't the answer. We have our fogs. We're gonna have our fog set up. I almost wonder if the A-pillar lights should be spot or racer, just for a longer throw. Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking between the lights that are behind the grill and the fog pocket kit, we probably have this near wide you feel the view area covered, and it may be that we want the A-pillar lights to be the spots.
Let's give it a shot. We got all the lights here.
Yeah, steering A-pillar lights. And looking at the Baja Designs lighting zones chart here, you guys have probably seen this online and stuff. Between our fog pocket kit and the behind the grill light bars that we've got, I think we're pretty well covered, probably for like a nearer field. So we're going to swap out the combos. And what we're going to try in the A-pillar lights first is the XL Racer Edition high-speed spots, which I think are going to have the most focused beam, but the longest throw, and that's kind of fun. So that's what we're going to try out here. I was concerned that that the antenna might be in the way.
Is it close?
No, it's not really even close.
Nice.
We can use the center mounting hole and keep these tighter into the truck. Fine tuning involved here. Maybe we go over the expansion space or something and kill the lights. So we've got the light here installed. I've kind of snugged up a couple of these so it's not flopping around, but still loose. We're going to aim these after we've got both installed. We've got our S-Pod, obviously, that we installed last week. We've got that opened up. We should be able to wire both of these lights directly to one of the switches on here. So we'll pick a switch number, and we'll do that. We can test out the lights. Even if you got to modify it to fit your exact application a little bit, it's really nice that Baja Designs includes these kind of complete harness kits. Just have all the stuff you need. Now I got to feed these up through the weather seal here and get them attached to the terminals. It's a little bit sexual. I'm not even going to heat shrink these because I'm just not concerned about if I got liquid up here, I got bigger problems. So for the sake of testing, we're not going to button and tidy this all up exactly like we will once everything is installed. But while we're still figuring out even exactly which switch ports I want stuff to go into, I'm not going to commit too heavily. All right, I'm going to make sure I keep these out of the way of this. I don't want these to get pinched here, so I'm going to throw a zip tie on there. All right, got these wired up. I'm going to throw this cover back on here, the negative terminal on the battery. Let's see how she goes. They work. They work. Cool. Cool, you see I'm setting up the strobe. That'll really fuck you up, huh?
Oh, that's fun.
So this is the aftermarket fog pocket kit for the 21 and newer Ford Raptor. This happens to be the SAE kit. So that's going to include, obviously, the mounting brackets for the fog pocket area. It's also got the pair of the SAE clear spotlights from Baja Designs. These are Squadron. For the outside, we've got S1s. These are wide cornering. And then we've got another pair of Squadrons, clear spotlights, Squadron Sports I think these are for the center position. So we can kind of experiment with where we want these two probably. And then a ton of wiring harnesses and little brackets and stuff. Not sure exactly to what extent we're going to need all this wiring, but we'll play around with that when we get to that step. Let's take the truck apart. All right, that was 4 10mm bolts to get this cover off here. Next thing we're going to do is get these lights set up with their brackets and then assemble the whole fog light kit. And then we're just going to go bolt back in where we removed the OEM kit. Fine adjustment I think we're going to have to do once it's in, but I want to get them snug enough that it's just a matter of quickly snugging them up. mount something like that. All right, they're in. There's clearance around all these. There's the 4 panel clips up here that you are using 2 of them to attach this bracket. They have a tendency to twist, which seems to limit your ability to push the bracket up. So now there's just kind of some fine tuning involved here. I'm going to move this side down a little bit, I think, and then we'll just go to the other side and we can putz with this forever. There's a ton of access to all these fasteners after installation. I'm just going to make one quick adjustment here and then go to the other side. So we've got our lights mounted in the fog pockets, and now it's time to set up our wiring. This is an SAE kit. Baja Designs includes these adapters. So one end of these adapters would connect to the SAE squadrons. The other would connect to the OEM harness so that those fog lights behave just like the OEM fog lights. I may hook these up right now just to test them out of curiosity, but I think what I'm going to do for the actual wiring is to wire those SAE fogs into our S-Pod, as well as the S1 and the Squadron pair into the S-Pod, so that we can trigger everything from that one device instead of kind of mixing and matching with upfitter switches or the OEM fog light control. So, but right now I'm going to pull these out and test them out just to see how they work. Headlights.
There we are.
They've got the harnesses laid out. This is amazing that Baja Designs includes all of this. It's going to be basically plug and play for our purposes. This harness here is going to be for the Squadron and the S1. So we've got this splitter harness that goes to their main upfitter harness that's going to go to the S-Pod. And then down at each end, we've got a splitter since we're controlling those 2 lights together. Separate from that, we've got another harness here. This harness is the one we're going to use for the SAE Squadron. Again, we've got an upfitter harness that's going to go up to the S-Pod. And then this longer 55-inch splitter harness that's going to connect to each of those 2 lights. And then because we're going to have 2 unused OEM connectors down in the fog pocket kit, they include these shut off or close off or caps, or I don't know what they call them, but this way we can protect those factory connectors. So I've got 2 of these for each side. Button 1, it turns on just the SAE. If I hit button 2, it turns on all of them.
That's sweet.
So we've got the fog pocket kit installed now. We've got the A-pillar lights installed. We've got this sweet S-Pod system here controlling it all. Really slick here. The next thing we're going to do is head over some extra warehouse space we got, get these lights aimed, and then we'll see you next week.
Can't wait to do the reverse light kit on this too. Got the S2s that we're gonna put in down below the bumper. Hopefully the next episode.
Oh, that's cool. You can set it up to be momentary. Either in the app or presumably the button works the same way.
Just the DRLs and the headlights. Yeah. Here, is that your high beam? There's high beam. High beam. SAE. Wow. All of the fog pockets right there are on. All right, what about the whole... It's like I'm in front of the sun.
So A-pillar lights installed, fog pocket kit installed from Baja Designs. Next up is behind the grill. Probably gonna do that next week. Check back Monday.